All right, so today what we're going to do is take a look at the NIO stock, and we're going to analyze this. There's a lot of people that are trading this. They probably want to know and understand what's going on, what's happening. So I'll give you my technical analysis breakdown. Keep in mind, none of these are recommendations to buy, sell, or trade any stocks, just my own personal opinion. All right, let's kick things off. NIO, if you haven't heard, Matrix, just kidding. Basically, let's take a look at this stock. It's breaking down, and what you want to look at is if you start out with the kind of the monthly chart. A lot of retail investors are going to be hopping in on this one and have hopped in on this one. So what you're looking at is a lot of the volume in the shares that are coming in right now. You're looking at about 41 million, and it's starting to pick up speed. So here's a little bit of the issue. So you've got some selling pressure that came in right there, and you've got kind of an A to B, B to C, possible C to D pattern. Where that goes, I'll show you some insight after we check this out here in more detail. Let's go into the longer dated version first. Okay, so this stock kind of got started around 2018. So you can see went sideways for a little bit, sold off, then boom, we've got a little bit of a rise. Nice breakout right there that happened in 2020. And then again, a secondary breakout a little bit later, and this continued to fuel. So if you really look at just the overall trend, we went right here to the upside. Now we've consolidated a little bit, and normally this could continue to move higher. Unfortunately, that did not happen. So now we've got a big breakdown that's happening, and there's a couple of things that I would watch in the case of what levels to look at. So the first kind of level is, let's go into a longer term level and take a look at that. So where can this stock actually go? If we use kind of the Fibonacci levels, there's two main points I would look at. Is number one is I take from the lows to the highs here, and I would watch around the 61.8%. That is about a $26 stock price. If you look at a little bit lower and take the swing lows of there, your swing level and point would be about $25.71. Okay, so that is looking at fib levels. However, okay, because you know that that stock can pull back 50% and still nothing be wrong with it. So when we look at kind of those levels, you know, that's a pretty significant pullback, right? Because the lows though were about $1. So, you know, that it kind of skews the graph and chart a little bit. So that's why I would probably use something a little bit at higher level, and it can get back fairly low. Now, I think the more critical areas for the short term, what does the price level look like? And what you're doing is you're kind of looking A to B, B to C, C to D, because here is your A, here's your B, here's your C, and the D is down here. And taking across the Fibonacci levels here, we go in and drag this down over here. You can see it went right into about the $35 price level, which is a 38.2% retracement. So now if we go ahead and take the distance of this, okay, so kind of the highs over here of this swing point, go in here, that's about a 13.5 point move. So if I go 13.5 points from here, you can just take the highs here, go about 13.5. That'll put us right around the about a $22 mark. So this stock could actually get down into about a $22 level from those kinds of evaluations. Let's look at kind of a little near area and say, hey, where's the $22 price point? And that's kind of looking at this area right there where that support is earlier on in the past. So kind of that zone is what I would look for maybe a possible bounce. But for the time being, since it's breaking this critical support line where we had support at these levels, kind of a little bit here, but right there we had it before, and now it's breaking down. I'd be very careful. Yes, this is the first day. Sometimes they can snap into it and even above it and then roll back over. So just be a little more careful there in that case. I've seen those things happen as well, but oftentimes once they break, if this volume starts picking up down here and starts accelerating like it does over here, that's going to be an issue. And being about halfway done with the day and it's almost trading that volume, I'd say you're probably going to make it. So meaning the selling pressure is picking up. So I would say this stock is not doing well and probably more than likely be toast for a little while. And look at those other levels that I mentioned before for looking at, hey, where is it? Has a potential to bounce. So what could you do in this case? You're really looking to cut deltas, whether that's reducing position sizes, hedging through options, whatever you need to do to make it kind of work. But oftentimes if you're trying to kind of pause the losses, that's what you were looking at. So anyways, thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed this recap and insight. And if you did, feel free to check out some of the other things I have available, and I'll see you next time.